Put up your Bukes for this Thursday edition. Again, 8 games on the main slate. So pitcher, who is the guy you are going with?
So this is, when Bill Belichick starts calling out all the fancy plays, because I'm going to come out firing and just, take the lead and never look back. And we start that with Marcus Stroman, 8,600, going up against the Cubs tonight. The Cubs are a team that is going to strike out. They have a 25.7 K rate against right-handed pitching on the season. That is the 6th highest mark in the league. And when you look at Marcus Stroman, you're like, Steve, this is not a guy that really strikes out many pitchers, but this is where I go, nay. Look at what he's been doing over the past 5 starts. Over that span, he has a 9.3 K9. That is very high for Marcus Stroman. And in that span, that includes 2 starts against a team that is near and dear to my heart, the San Diego Padres, with the 2nd lowest K rate in the league against righty. So not only was he striking out teams, he's striking out teams that notoriously have been tough to do so against. So now he gets a Cubs team you can strike out easily. 8,600, Marcus Stroman. Everybody's happy here, and that's where I'm going with tonight.
Okay, Steve says everyone is happy here. Are you happy here, Nick Friar?
Yeah, Marcus Stroman, I think, is a no-brainer pick tonight. I mean, you look at what Taijuan Walker did the other day. He had 12 Ks, and obviously DeGrom, I mean, he's on a different level from everybody else, but still 8 Ks in 3 innings is ridiculous. Even before those 2 outings, the Cubs were striking out a ton against right-handed pitching. They were one of the worst in the league against right-handed pitching in terms of strikeouts. So for me, this is a no-brainer. I think Stroman's K-prop, taking the over on that too tonight, over on DraftKings Sportsbook, is a no-brainer too. So I approve Steve's pick here.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. Wow, good stuff. Take us to infield here, Mr. Bukes. Put him up.
Yeah, somebody who hasn't been getting a lot of buzz lately, but he should be, is Jared Walsh over with the Angels. After that buzz kind of wore off, he still continued to hit, except nobody just wanted to pay attention anymore. Over his last 10 games, he's averaging 8.5 DraftKings fantasy points, 6 extra base hits in that span, 7 RBIs. Now tonight, he's facing the top pitching prospect over in the Tiger system in Matt Manning. The problem with the top, moniker that he has there is that he hasn't been pitching well in AAA at all. Has a 6.54 FIP through 32 1/3 innings so far. If you're not familiar with FIP, let me just put this in layman terms, not good at all. So now we have Walsh, who against righties at home has been absolutely phenomenal. 426 WOBA, 284 isolated power, and 5 of his 15 home runs. I'm always going to pick on the rookies who are making their debut. Not that I have anything against them, but at least from a fantasy perspective and a betting perspective, the offense usually has the one-up on this one. So I'll take the hot-hitting Jared Walsh going up against the young kid at home in Angel Stadium.
The hot-hitting Jared Walsh. Are you picking up what Bukes is putting down here, Nick?
No, I'm going with a different first baseman tonight. I like Pete Alonso. He is a little bit cheaper, just a slight bit, but he's going up against Kyle Hendricks. Now, I understand targeting a guy making his debut, absolutely. And I know Kyle Hendricks did well last time out, but he has been still giving up a ton of hits left and right up until that last game, and he's always prone to giving up a home run. Whether it's a righty or a lefty. And you got a guy in Pete Alonso who hasn't had a home run in his last 6 games. The last time he had a dry spell like that, he came out and hit 2 home runs. And now he's going up against a guy who's prone to giving up home runs. And his OPS still against right-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks is right around his season average. It's not as high as it is, but it's just a tick down. And look, if he goes and faces a lefty tonight, he's done even better against lefties of late, as much as his season numbers haven't indicated that. But yeah, I'm going to go with Alonso, just a slight bit of savings, but against Hendricks, who's a guy that gives up long balls.
Steven, outfielder, please help us out.
Going with Austin Meadows in this one here, who is facing Justin Dunn, who just recently came off the IL for the Seattle Mariners, who are still going to win the AL West. Don't worry about them being in third, just a small speed bump in the road. But Dunn has been one of their better pitchers for the Mariners, and that's not saying a lot. Their pitching staff has been their biggest issue. But if there's something that you can point out about Dunn, is that he struggles against left-handed bats. So far this season, 350 WOBA, 6.49 FIP, and 5 of the 6 home runs he's allowed. Austin Meadows has been one of the Rays' better hitters against righties so far this season. He boasts a really good amount of power as well. Not really worried about the ballpark because no matter where he's playing, usually not a hitter-friendly ballpark if he's at home or on the road. So I think Austin Meadows is in a really good spot here. All the lefties, quite frankly, on the Rays tonight. But if you're going to be stacking the team, you want to start with those lefties, and the anchor of that stack should be Austin Meadows.
Yeah, a good friend of DraftKings, by the way. We had him in studio, right? A couple years ago before the pandemic ruined everything. Nick, how do you feel about Austin Meadows here? Steve seems pretty confident in this dude.
Well, I mean, he's definitely a cheaper option than the guy I'm going with tonight, but the guy I'm going with is Christian Yelich, and he is one of the best hitters against right-handed pitching of late, and he's at Coors Field tonight going against German Marquez. Look,
Chalk.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, I think you have there's quite a few high-priced hitters here. And I know that Winker's been one of the best against righties over the last couple of weeks, and he's a little bit more expensive. And I think with Yelich, where he's got, a 1.069 OPS against righties the last couple of weeks, 290 ISO. I think where you have a lot of high-priced hitters actually in the outfield, that wouldn't make it chalk. But, I mean, the segment's named after Steve, right? And he has the best record of the two of us in our head-to-head battle. So, I was wrong about that.
Oh my God! From the top rope, Steve.
No response, Steve? Yeah, I didn't think so.
I mean, I'm just so glad Nick is on this segment to tell us to play somebody in Coors Field. Nobody would have figured that out without Nick. Thank you so much for pointing that out.
Mm-hmm. Well, you had the obvious pick with Stroman, clearly, because I agreed with you on that one. I mean, and my job is to try and disagree with you.
Which you usually can't.
I mean, sometimes you make good picks.
I always make good picks.
Oh
That's
my
why
God!
I have
Look at
a
this.
segment.
You guys do love each other, after all. Let's see how you two feel about Steve's value pick, which is who, Bukes?
You know, this guy is named after one of my favorite presidents, Honest Abraham Almonte, going tonight for the Braves. I mean, for someone who's hitting as well as he is in a good offense, nonetheless, he's dirt cheap right now. Like, you can get him for $2,200, like extremely cheap for Almonte. He's averaging 8.5 DraftKings fantasy points over his last 10 games, and he's been all over the lineup. Sometimes he's batting cleanup. Sometimes he's batting fifth. Sometimes he's batting sixth. Where will he bat tonight? It's a mystery. You can keep watching on that. But regardless, the matchup tonight against John Nat is a good one because he struggles against lefties. 342 WOBA, 6.35 FIP. I mean, Nick wants to always harp about, I'm going to spend here. I'm going to spend up here. Like, you can't get any cheaper than this guy, and he's hitting well. Now, he's probably going to come back with some, what he thinks is a fancy comeback, but whatever. You can't disregard how cheap he is in a good offense. Nonetheless, in the Braves, there's nothing to dispute here. But I commend Nick for trying, at least.
There is nothing to dispute here, Nick.
Yeah, he's right. And I don't know where that assumption came from. Steve, sometimes you make good picks, so I'm not going to fight you on this one.
I should.
Abraham Almonte, you can't debate this one at that price. And you're talking about how much Gant struggles against lefties. Almonte is one of the 10 best hitters against right-handed pitcher over the last 2 weeks. I was talking about Yelich before, how well he's done. Almonte 1.207 OPS against righties over the last couple of weeks. His ISO is through the roof. Cool. And then this gives you tremendous flexibility to, maybe if you want to go and get like an Ohtani and put him with Stroman tonight in your starting rotation or spend elsewhere. But yeah, Almonte, you have to have him in your lineups tonight.